So key point. I'm Alexander Surya Gianni. A mole on the right hand, penguin duck birthmark. This should set off a red flag. Huge red flag. This is Monday, August 14th, 5:43 p.m. Huge red flag. So whatever's been going on in my life over 5 years and 6 months, no one will talk to me about in person. People only bombard me with telepathy and tell me stuff via telepathy. No one will say a word to me in person. And if I talk to people about this weird shit, they act like I'm psychotic or crazy. So no one will talk to me about any of this stuff I write to law enforcement, say on YouTube, etc. About this gambling ring, jazz, which is in a movie, these highly illegal, unregulated experiments I'm a victim of. No, some, but weapons, involving weapons and neurophysiological weapons, human programming experiments and MK Ultra like experiments. And no one has informed consent from me in any shape or form. So that's another key piece of this. But yeah, no one will talk to me about these experiments. No one had informed consent. No one will talk to me about my intellectual property they're all pretending is theirs. No one will talk to me about my data they're pretending is theirs and they're selling to people illegally. No one will tell me about this game where people supposedly sold my name to people illegally without my permission. There are people telling people they're my representatives, but news to me, I've never had a financial representative in my life other than maybe some E-Trade lady I talked to once in my life. So there's people pretending to be my representatives, but no one tells me about it. So that's another piece of this. So no one will talk to me about anything involving whatever I've been talking about on YouTube, Twitter, etc. in person, not even law enforcement. And everyone acts like I'm crazy. So I've never owned any game, never run any game, but there's stuff that supposedly mine people have been stealing and running illegally without my permission, which is a key point. And there's something about some idea ring that I won a spot to, didn't know about, and people stole it and been stealing my ideas and selling it in this idea ring. So that's a key point. So you should get to the bottom of it. This should be a huge red flag. You know, you say Alex this, Alex that, but why won't any of you talk to him in person about whatever's going on? Not one of you, not a single person will talk to me about any of this in person. Won't say a word. And if I bring it up, they act like I'm psychotic or crazy. Or they act like they have no clue what I'm fucking talking about. So what's really going on? Because it's blowing my mind. So no one will talk to me about any of this. The only way people talk to me is via telepathy, synthetic telepathy. And I'm still trying to figure out how I got this device in my brain too, and who these synthetic telepathy investors are, who wouldn't talk to me either in person. And then they were supposed to compensate because they got caught experimenting on me illegally, but then they maybe pretended someone else was the victim and compensated them, or they got blackmailed or something. So that's another piece of this that no one talks to me about, which is absolutely odd. And then there are people exploiting me, making money off of my life as this implanted guy and this victim of implantation. There's people exploiting me, making money off of me as some multi-trillion-dollar brain, a legal one, not the hustler, and stealing my data and ideas. So there's a lot of exploitation and unpaid servitude going on. And then there's this gambling rings I'm a victim of. And there's this thing about these kids trying to monetize this device in my brain illegally without my permission. And they even asked me if they could do it. And then they're exploiting me because I have the device in my brain, making money off of it and stealing this money. I haven't seen a cent, nickel, nor a dime. So that's another piece of this. These people trying to monetize the device in my brain. That's another piece of this. Something going on in Dallas, maybe California and elsewhere, maybe Dubai. So that's another illegal piece of this jazz. So not one person has talked to me about any of this in person. And all I've got is what's in my DOJ letters, what I write to law enforcement, my methods of analysis, etc. So anyone who tells you they talk to me in person about any of this, zero credibility, permanently, bet my life on it. So no one will talk to me about anything, nothing about this monetization of this device in my brain, their gambling ring jazz, my data, my ideas, etc. And I don't communicate with anyone involving this on the internet. The only place I discuss is like this on YouTube. This is how I discuss, or I bitch on Twitter, or I bitch in emails to law enforcement and CIA and FBI, or I bitch to the CIA, the Bureau of Counterterrorism, the United Nations, the Human Rights Commissioner, etc., etc. I send emails to something that may be Troy Finner's email. I'm not even sure if it's really his. But I send it to all sorts of, I bitch to the FBI. No one will talk to me about this. The Intellectual Property Rights Commission won't even talk to me about this. And supposedly people know people are stealing my intellectual property. So that's a key point. And that if there are people claiming they talk to me in person or are my representatives, huge red flag. Always red flag that. Be like, we're being told differently. And we know you didn't. And I remember perfectly fine. I love that. Like, he doesn't remember. Oh, I remember. Don't fall for bullshit. I always remember. I've been remembering all sorts of shit. And don't fall for their discrediting hustle because I forgot like some name from second grade. I remember perfectly. I remember what's been going on over the past 5 years and 6 months. ever since late 2017. I remember when my dad broke my guitar and was like, "You don't play guitar," and I was like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" I remember all sorts of shit that's been going on. I remember my signature patent move, these little telepathy shitbags were talking about, and calling me this McBuckets fellow. I remember making 11 long range in a row. I remember making 10 to 17 in a row. Made 10 in a row for sure, and then made 9 out of 10 the second rack. Don't know where I missed the one, but I remember doing that too. So it's somewhere between 10 and 17 threes around February of 2019. I remember playing stuff. So whoever's claiming they talked to me didn't talk to me. And whoever claims they're my representatives, they're my representatives and they work for free and don't receive checks from me. Get the fuck out of here. My representative's my ass. For what? Yeah, I don't run any company. I don't even know what the name of the supposed company is. Never even seen it. So these kids are full of shit. I want to talk to someone in person. I'm fed up with this telepathy bullshit. That's the only way people talk to me. Fuck telepathy. It's a more than failed method of communication. And whoever's running this telepathy jazz, I want to sue them. Whoever's running their little court system, I want to sue them. Because you can be an intellectual property thief. Show up with proof you're an intellectual property thief in their court and actually win an intellectual property theft court case. I want to sue that guy too. What else is there? I want to sue these telepathy shitbags, their court system. I want to sue their investigation company, letting people steal my ideas and property and be like, "Oh, it's not his." Claiming I want to sue these kids who are slandering me and my family, saying it came from his parents' modem, and they don't even know how to do network forensics analysis, network forensics data analysis, or other investigative tactics. They just make it up and say it came from his parents' modem, and it's not even true. They don't even know how to investigate a goddamn modem. So that's another piece of this. So I definitely want to sue those guys. I'm going to sue the whole shebang. But yeah, enough of this nonsense. Red flag. Anyone who claims they've talked to me or my representatives, that should always be a huge red flag. Never forget this. And when is someone going to talk to me about this in person? Because it's been 5 years and 6 months now. It's really pissing me off. Praise Jesus. And whatever else, these guys stealing my material, content, data. These guys claiming that my parents signed off on X, Y, and Z, not to mention these people performing illegal experiments on me without permission and informed consent. Yeah, when do I get to sue those guys too? Praise Jesus. And not to mention these guys who put these devices in my brain and body. When do I get to sue them? Praise Jesus.